Welcome to Soul Play. Enjoy.
Soul Play.
Hey guys, welcome to Sound Lab. And today we're going to talk about mistakes in the studio. And I've got an example for you. And let's take a look at that. And basically, this is this song's called One is Made of Two. And what it was, a friend of mine stopped over after that first episode, and I played it for her, and she didn't like the way that I I started in the middle of this song for an example. So at any rate, I thought, well, what could we learn from this song that would be beneficial to everybody? And there's a big mistake in this song. And let me go ahead and play it for you, and then we'll see if we can figure it out.
Sun's in my eyes as I'm looking through time. Bad minds are lying, but not looking from behind. We're all strangers in life, and all hoping to find someone who wants you. Do you see that one is made from two? Now know who you lose, but don't you get the blues? Someone's walking beside you. Reach out and take them with you. Yeah. After all's out of sight, bad minds sinking to die.
Bad minds sinking to die.
Into heaven we glide.
Into heaven we glide.
And the worst side you can do
And the worst that you can do
is to sing out of tune.
is to sing out of tune.
Someone has found you,
Someone has found you,
and now one is made from two.
and now one is made from two.
Yes, one is made from two. Someone said me and you. So don't you be blue.
Okay, guys. Yeah. Now this song it was recorded at Trigen Sound Lab, and again in this example, this is one of those. It's off of cassette, and we want to take a look at where the problem was. Let's see. A good way to look at that would be our automation on this EQ here. It right where it bypasses. I've got it coming in and out. It's just to help the song and bring out the part that's in question here. And what it is, about the next measure or so, you'll hear a basically a marching snare, and it'll come in, and then for about 5 measures around the it's about 50, the 55th to the 60th measure, it'll go away. And what had happened, now actually Joe's going to kill me for this. This was a song that we called, it was done like in the early 80s, and I did all the instrumentation with the exception of the marching snare, and of course the vocals and everything. But the marching snare is what I wanted, but I couldn't play that. So I had Joe, which was he was the drummer in Velocity, actually the third one, Joe Jimmy, and you'll hear me talk about him a lot. He was in the band for many years, and we went through a lot together, and he's on a number of songs that'll come up. And so at any rate, I took, like with these solo projects, like sometimes I would bring in different band members to play something that I couldn't play, or harmony vocals or whatever the case may be. But on this one, I wanted him to do the marching snare drum in the back. And so at any rate, let me play the part. And like I say, from about here to here, it'll fade out, it'll be gone, and then it'll come back in. And what had happened was he actually, I didn't even catch it. My cousin David, he's a drummer, and he caught it, and it was like opposite of the beat, and I didn't even notice it. And what I wanted to do at the time was basically just redo the part. And my other cousin Dwight, he came up with the idea, well, why don't we just fade it in and out through that section where it's opposite on the beat, and it can be like the drummer's marching away, and then he comes back. And it actually turned out to be a really great idea, because what it did was it opened up. There's a lot going on here. All the instrumentation you hear, strings and horns and whatever else is in there, is off of a Yamaha DX7 synthesizer that I use quite a bit in many songs. And so when that drum goes out, it opens up those frequencies for those other instruments. But at any rate, let me play that part for you, and listen for the snare drum. It'll come in about a measure, and then it over here in this area, it'll fade out, and then it'll come back in. And but it really turned out really, really well. And I think it was a plus. So what I'm saying is, just keep an open mind when you're in the studio and there's a mistake made. Maybe there's a way around it. But let's take a listen to that part again and see how that went.
After all's other side, bad mind sinking to die.
Bad minds die.
Into heaven we glide.
Into heaven we glide.
And the worst side you can do,
And the worst that you can do
is to sing out of tune.
is to sing out of tune.
Someone has found you,
Someone has found you.
and now what is made from two?
So there you go, guys. It actually, I think we used it for an example of a mistake, which it was, but in turn, it made the song better. That area where it was faded out and then faded back in, it wasn't missed, and it opened up that area for those frequencies. And I think it was a real good thing. If it was solid all the way through that passage, I don't think it would have been as good as it is the way we have it here, where it faded in and out. At any rate, let's see. We might want to take a look at the. You're probably curious about what's going on here. This is, of course, on our signal chain. We have the. This is a cassette tape, so just putting a little bit more life into it, and we've got those two plugins, and on this particular plugin here, I just wanted to bring up the that snare in that area, and I also liked it in this section too. But over here, it's basically bypassed, and it's bypassed here, and through our automation, and increasing these frequencies here in this area, it just bring up the tape hiss. So that's what we're doing there. And then of course, don't worry about that channel there. I'll explain that. That's a separate speaker system. We're not doing anything here. And then it goes into our limiter on this channel. So that's all that's going on there. But at any rate, that I thought it could be a benefit in your work if you make a mistake in the studio tracking, mix down, whatever, and there might be an answer that would help to make the song better from that mistake. So that's the point of the video, and I hope you got something out of this, guys, and we'll be looking forward to talking to you the next time.
Like and subscribe.
Soul Play.